What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Craziness. I am Jeremy Johnson, the mastermind and the crazy man behind Weldtec Designs. And also, I'm going to welcome you to Jeremy's World 10 because you are going to also be able to see and hear my voice over on Jeremy's World 10. So in the last two episodes, we've kind of talked about how basically why we wanted to start a podcast, as well as we brought Caden in on both of those episodes to talk about really how Weldtec Designs began back in the early 1999. And as we walked through that blast in the past, it was a ton of fun. But I want to talk about something a little bit more relevant now, bringing us more up to date and into the future here as we move forward into Weldtec Designs. And I would have to say that as we look back on Weldtec Designs and what basically how it started and the growing pains that it went through and how it has evolved into what it is now, comes with the help of not only myself, but today's special guest. And I will have to say that with every great business, I will say that a lot of times that in order to truly have that successful, great business, so as in when we get into talking more about just the obstacles that you will face as an entrepreneur in the work-life balance, that is definitely the greatest obstacle in entrepreneurship, 100%. And if anybody tells you different, they do not have a family or they are not married. And that's the key word right there, is being married. So today I have the proud pleasure of me convincing this beautiful lady across from me to the podcast. Oh my gosh, it was like I had to bribe her. So without further ado, I welcome you, Rachael Johnson.
Well, hello. I'm super excited. I'm a little scared though.
A little bit scared?
Yeah, because I don't know what you're gonna say.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say. And that's the fun thing we always say about this podcast is it's really unscripted. I want it to be just a fun time where two people get to hang out, maybe talk about things that they wouldn't normally talk about, and without the interruption. So as we hang out in what we're calling the attic here at Weldtec Designs, I look forward to having all kinds of fun guests. So I am going to take a blast down memory lane. I should find that. Oh, wait. That whimsical down memory lane. And I guess let's talk about, in order for people to completely understand us or our relationship or the difficulties in that work-life balance, let's talk about how we met.
Oh, boy.
So, every relationship has two totally different, not perceptions, but
are we going to talk about how we met the first time or how?
No, we'll just go into the second one. I mean. And the first time was we just met through mutual friends, I would say, per se. But I think it's funny when you talk to a lot of people about their relationship. It'd be like, how did you meet? And they'd be, the guy's going to be like, say one thing, and the girl's like, no, we didn't. We totally met this way. And it's just always funny.
Well, what are you going to say? How did we meet?
Well, I would say that we met through personal friends originally. You went to school with my younger brother. So she knew about me because it was a big deal here in East County,
Well, everybody knew about 983 clothing, so that's why.
So that's going to be a whole nother topic we'll have to talk about. And another one would be, and that's a great one because it is a business that I started that ultimately failed or didn't, I wouldn't maybe say failed, but it brought, it educated me a ton. And I think with any kind of education, you can't consider it a failure. So yeah, so with the 983 clothing, and we did touch base on that in the first podcast, talking about that and the icon and how we still use that symbol in Weldtec Designs right now. So back to you. So we, from 983, and then...
Well, I'm just going to say we met on social media.
Yeah, totally.
We met on Facebook.
you were stalking me on Facebook, and I was just trying to live the single life.
I don't even know, suggested friend, and I'm like, oh, I remember him. It's a dude. I'm single. What the heck? Click, and he messaged me first. I didn't pursue him. I just said add friend. Here we go.
See?
And then he was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And it just went from there.
So in our conversations, Austin just ripped his head on the ceiling. He's standing on the couch right now. I wish I had
you're not that short.
I wish I had a camera just to go over to him and show that. And I remember one of the biggest things in that I love is how different I would say we were at that point in life. Very not a lot of couples I think will be like, oh, we were completely the same, and it was very opposite.
Well, I think even now, we're so different. But even where we were in life was so different.
Definitely.
And we could talk about that whole gold digger situation. How sometimes maybe I get that persona of, oh, you're just with Jeremy for the money. But it's like I was with Jeremy from the beginning when he had nothing. So you definitely can't say that, because we could talk about where you were when I met you.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. We're going to have to bring that back in. That's a whole nother podcast.
You were working out of your van. I've been here from the beginning.
Well, not from the beginning of Weldtec, but that's where...
Weldtec kind of had a little slump.
I would say Weldtec take two. Yeah. Because definitely that's what happened.
The economy was bad when I met you.
So, and I want to tell, that's it's such a great thing, because that is what, when you look at, when you set yourself up for business, and me being the entrepreneur that I was, I could never just stay focused on one business. My mind was always okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to create new things. And that's always been such a big part of my life. Austin just needs to turn the heat down before he just melts in here. He's just dying over here. We tried to make it so that Rachel would be nice and warm and comfy. I'm good now. So the button on the right, Austin. So definitely when the economy took a crash in 2008, our business was completely discretionary income, and we did close down Weldtec Designs, the physical location of Weldtec Designs, for about a year. And when we did that, I basically was working, like she said, out of my van. I was going to, I was building the Bronco at that time.
And just doing little mobile jobs here and there.
Right.
And we went back to school.
And I decided to go back to school, and I decided I wanted to go back to school for psychology.
Oh, yeah. I
because,
forgot about that.
I just love the brain and how it thinks, and just everything about the human brain just fascinates me.
Well, that's why sometimes having a conversation with you, you're like, just listen. Stop trying to analyze everything I'm saying.
I don't know what she's talking about. She's crazy. She's crazy. No, and that's totally true. I do. And it's not only that, but I think in business, I sometimes overanalyze things, but then I think it can also work to my, it's totally lost for words, but disadvantage, where sometimes I don't put enough thought into thing, and I just run, full bore at it. Kind of like this podcast idea.
I know, I'm a planner. I wish I would have known questions. What are we going to talk about? I like to know what we're doing.
Yeah, and I'm
just coming in oh gosh, what is he going to say?
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm the complete opposite, where I'm just winging it. For instance, when we did SEMA this year, you were like, hey, did you get a hotel room for the first night? And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. There'll be plenty of hotel rooms. And we get to our hotel, and they're like, no, sorry, we're sold out. And Austin and I just thought, well, we got this new auto home rooftop tent on our van. So Austin and I go to Walmart and buy sleeping bags and blankets and sleep in the Walmart parking lot. Well, we didn't get to sleep in it. We get kicked out of it. And I know that, I don't know if we've put that video up yet. Have we, Austin? So I'm going to throw up a card right here, and we'll definitely need to add that, because it was a riot. Security was just not having it. We got kicked out. So, oh well, what are you going to do? We had fun. I laugh about it. It was a good time. But you, on the other hand, would have not been okay with that.
I'm not sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. I'd be freaked out. I would think people are coming and going to murder us at any second. It's not happening.
I mean, because you see that on the news all the time, like couple murdered in Walmart parking lot while sleeping in their auto home rooftop tent, like that happens.
I could totally, like someone's going to like grab my feet, like reach up in there, grab my legs. Like I'd be freaked out.
And just pull you out.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally. Too many movies. Like, all right, come on, guys. Like, all right. So that's awesome. All right. She's crazy. And that's what I think is fun about our relationship, and also I'm sure drives you crazy in our relationship is the lack of, planning. Because even when it comes to our kids, which is we're not even there yet. So we're still going back. We're in like circa 2000.
I'm an introvert. You're an extrovert.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm totally shy. You're loud and crazy. Drive me nuts sometimes. Like, bring it down. And I know even sometimes your fans say the same thing, like, a little too loud. Simmer it down. Come on.
She's never watched one of my videos.
Yes,
she does not know what she's talking about right now. So,
when Kaden watches them, I watch them.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. So, then it brings us to, so 2011. So we started dating and we were so happy and in love. And then we actually, 2010, we started dating in like August. And in 2011, on August 26th, boom, I know the date. Yeah. How many of you husbands out there can just rattle off that date like that? But
we got married 2 months after we got engaged.
Yes. So
fastest wedding ever.
Dude, she killed, planner in her. She was like, okay, boom, 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 boom.
Everybody was like freaking out. I'm like, I got this. Yeah. I can do this.
And they were like, why would you ever marry Jeremy Johnson? Like, he's crazy. Like, you do not want to be with that guy. Like, he's going to cheat on you. He's going to leave you. He's going to break your heart.
10 years later.
Dude, still
good. Yeah. But everybody will say like, oh, he's so different now. Now that he's with you, totally different person. We never really wanted to hang out with him before, but now we'll bring him around. All because of me. I think I like gave you a better life. Like you have more friends now because of me. I brought out the better in you.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I used to just be a dirtbag, and now that, now you're not a dirtbag anymore because you married me.
I don't think it was like you were a dirtbag. I think you were just crazy and loud and maybe drank a little more than you do now, and people were just like,
I probably drank a lot more. See, and that was
like the single Jeremy was just wild and crazy party man, and now we brought out the family man. I mean, you still like to have fun, but it's just toned down a notch.
Well, that's like even when we ran into this year at SEMA, we ran into Dana, and Dana used to run General Tires, and she even was like, okay.
Never would have thought you're going to have 4 kids.
Yeah, and
be this like businessman.
Yeah, she was like, you were the wild and crazy one that every time when we would go out,
it was run. Here he comes. Don't let him see you.
And that was the problem is, I guess being the extrovert that I was like no problem going out and introducing myself.
Well, and you don't care what people think.
Well, I do care what people think. I wouldn't say that I completely don't care what people think, but
if people don't like you, you're like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, because I have to just live my life.
But I think that's why you're a good businessman. It's because you don't care what people think, and that's probably the number one quality you have to have.
Right, because my goal is to succeed. Yeah. And I know that I'm going to fail a whole bunch in order to succeed. But I remember, I will never forget this. And I won't name names, but I'm going to bring them on the podcast one of these days so I can bring them out. I will never forget watching the Super Bowl. And this would be circa like 2000, maybe even 99. And I went over to Leo's house, and we were watching the Super Bowl. And
somehow you weren't going to say names.
I know, but we were just at Leo's house. Leo wasn't the one that was. But they were like, I'm like, I think I'm going to start my own business, And they were like, what? You're crazy. You don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just going to go for it. And we touched base in that podcast number 2, where it was like, it started in that garage, and it was just me and a couple friends building stuff, having fun. Like, it was never intended to really be a business. I had a really good job at the time. I was a union iron worker. I went through the apprenticeship. I learned how to weld. So, being a journeyman iron worker, I was making really good money. And I will say that I probably made better money doing that than even being a business owner. It just wasn't what I loved. The passion wasn't there.
You're crazy.
Yeah,
people
probably.
don't like change, and they don't like to go out of the norm. And the norm is to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And
it was more like 7 to 3:30.
And now you're going to change it up and start your own business. Like, who does that?
No, completely. And I had never really started my own business in the form of like my own, like a real business. And even now she'll tell me this. She's like, you just go to work with your friends. Like, it's not even like a real job. Like, you just get to like.
I don't say that it's not a real job. I just say your job isn't hard.
My job is.
I don't think I would.
I hope that we can hear Austin.
I would way rather come do your job and not have a boss looking over me, and I have to be clocked in and clocked out at a certain time, lunch at a certain time, than do what I do.
Okay, but let's go. So, and I know we're skipping all around here, but you came and worked here for like 2 months when we did not have an office manager.
I never said it was hard.
Oh.
And I probably shouldn't say this, but I didn't like some of your customers.
Some of them are a complete pain in the butt. But that's the whole thing is, I
don't like customer service.
And that's where, like, we really try hard. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of reason is why we decided to make a podcast even is to really try to get intimate with our customers to give them more information because they
don't understand what is going on here.
No.
Like, this isn't Ford. Like, there's not 50 people and it's like a robot here building your parts. Like, this is all custom made parts and nobody gets that. And so when their
100%.
stuff's not ready tomorrow and Amazon primed in 2 days, then they're pissed off. So yeah, if they see like the real deal that it's one dude that only knows how to make your bumper and he's got 20 bumpers to make, then yeah, I think they would probably be a little bit more understanding and not cussing you out that it's taking too long.
And that's where maybe we need to get Austin doing some more.
And I always told you, like, you have to tell them, like, what is really going on here.
And that's where it's like, it's such a blessing in disguise. Like, I mean, I'm not going to, you're buying Weldtec Designs. Weldtec Designs is Jeremy Johnson. It's not Joe Schmo down the street just building any kind of bumper. Like, do you want something cool or what? It's going to take time. Hello, I want something cool. Like, hello. And that's been like the biggest obstacle of this is, trying to grow this because it was such a me thing. So I want to, as we really tie in like, the core of our family too. So in 2011, we got married. So as we continue this blast down memory lane, in 2011, we got married. And of course, one of my biggest passions in life is going to be children. And you'll see that. And that's why it's such an important part of my life to have Caden here and Kendall. And obviously Kylie's too little. And even Kira comes here sometimes. I can't
live up to Caden's podcast.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, how can I beat that?
I mean, you got to. So I don't think because that was the drum snare in it would just. I would, yeah, he was just busting up, cracking. And I mean,
he's so cute. So, of course, everybody's going to want to watch that.
Yeah, you're kind of cute, too, And that's where I'll start getting me like.
I don't know. I get a lot of haters when I come on any type of social media of yours.
I know. And that's where they'll be like.
So, this could be like really bad.
Yeah. So, we'll have to post up a picture of it because when we posted a picture of her with our van at SEMA, okay, and she had like a tube top on and. I mean, she looked good, but it wasn't like
in Vegas for one,
and it wasn't anything completely
and two,
crazy.
A 16 and up car show, and my boobs, let's just say it, weren't even hanging out that much.
No, not even, not compared to the night outfit.
I was gonna say compared to what Vegas has and what people are dressed
not
like.
Even
I
Vegas,
was pretty
like
civil.
The SEMA show itself, like every girl there is dressed completely scandalous.
But I
like
just got
all the models
ripped
to
shreds.
We posted up some pictures on different van pages on Facebook, and it was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Like, I
mean, I got everything to slut, gold digger, you abuse me, you take advantage of me,
I make you wear those clothes.
Make me wear those clothes. Yes. I'm just with you for the money.
But then
I'm just some model in front of a car.
That's what the other funny one was. It was like, Yeah, anybody can get just some model to stand in front of their car.
Well, and what was funny is it was my camera. You weren't wanting the picture. I wanted the picture for my own social media. Asked you to take it with my camera, and people were thinking like, you're making me do this, and I'm just a model. Like, it's my husband taking the picture. He knows what I look like, what I'm doing. It's his car. Like, chill out.
So if you guys are totally curious now, I mean, if you're listening to this simply on the podcast, because if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to obviously be able to see what she looks like. But I'm going to let's get into like your little side hustle here. Like, so you on Instagram is going to be
Rachael Christine.
And then also on YouTube, you could go over there
yeah.
and Rachael Christine.
Yeah.
So, but what happened to, what was the other one? Beautiful.
Well, that was when I was doing more like fitness stuff, and I'm trying to venture more into like beauty and fashion and makeup. So I'm the brand now. Rachael Christine is the brand. So that's what I got rid of this name. And
see, maybe that's what it was she's doing her own brand thing. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, Jeremy Johnson, Jeremy's World 10.
Copy me.
Yeah. What's up? See, like, you guys wonder where I get my inspiration from? It's right there. Like, that's it. Boom. This is the girl right here that keeps me going. So I want to touch base on this because I think that this would be something great if you guys want to see more of her, want to even know more about this story. But to me, it was something huge. So we were trying to get pregnant for over a year. And I mean, I'm going to let her talk because you guys don't like me anyway. So, I mean, let's let her tell the story.
Well, I mean, it was over a year of trying. And any woman that's ever had infertility issues, it's one of the most, like, crushing things ever. And we don't want to get all emotional on a guy's podcast. Yeah. But we finally went to Hawaii, and that's where we finally got pregnant with Caden.
See, so.
And that's how he got his name.
Brian Cherie, who owns a place. See, so Brian, I'm totally calling you out. You know, I'm like, hey, maybe there's a way I can get another baby. You need to hook me up with your rental property out there.
Not happening.
You know, maybe if anyone else is looking for a rental property in Maui, hit up Brian.
We have 4 kids now.
I
have 4. He only has 3. We have 3 together. So I feel like maybe that's why he wants another one, but I'm good.
And technically,
I'm really good.
So, and you say that I only have 3, so that'd be 3 biological, but really I do have 4. I've been with you since Kira was 3 years old. I definitely consider her my daughter, especially because now getting into the teenage years, I want to wring her neck. And that's something that,
fun.
You know, like, oh my goodness. So all of you people that have teenagers, give us the advice. Leave some comments.
Every day we're like, are we doing this right? Are we messing up?
And that's what,
like, am I a horrible mom?
Yeah. And I go, God, I'm like, is this what?
Let's payback. That's why we have 3 girls. Because it's going to be total payback for
I
how
was
you
such
were.
A good kid. Like, I'm going to bring my mom in on this podcast now.
You were a good kid, and the second you turned 18, I don't know what happened. As soon as you were an adult, it was just downhill, and that's why God is paying you back. And that's why you got 3 really cute blonde girls.
I know, but my girls are the sweetest thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. My son is sweet, and he is the most loving son, but he's also crazy, and he's a little
shit sometimes.
Yeah, he is. He totally can be. I agree. But Kendall and Kylie are just the sweetest thing in the whole world. I wish Kira was a little bit sweeter, but you know, as she gets older, I know
think it's an age.
Yeah, it totally is.
No, I shouldn't say it's an age thing because she's always been a little.
She's a little bit more standoffish, you know. So that's definitely.
But I think she's more like me. You know how I kind of have like that wall up, a little more standoffish. Don't let you really get in.
Yeah, I know. That was the whole beginning. I just tried to skip over that.
She's a little more independent.
I tried to skip over that. I tried to skip over that in the beginning of this and just kind of avoid that whole thing as I've tried to block that out of my head because I'm like, oh my gosh, back in the day. So we got pregnant in 2012 and Caden. So we found out we were having a boy. I can't even tell you how excited I was. I will never forget that day. Leaving Sharp and just being like, oh my God, we're having a boy. Like, oh, I can't wait.
Well, Guy doesn't want a son.
I mean, I mean, that was definitely true. And then 29 weeks
29.
into the pregnancy, Rachel has her baby shower that day.
Mm-hmm.
I go out picking. I'm going searching for
You
signs.
used to do all your craziness.
My craziness with gas
pumps
stuff, and I was out picking that day while she was doing her baby shower. And everything was great, and we go home that night, and everything's good. We go to bed.
Well, I shouldn't say everything was good. Like, I definitely was a little uncomfortable and kind of feeling like maybe something was wrong, but
you
I didn't
felt
listen
like
to
you
my like intuition.
But you felt like you kind of overexerted yourself at the baby
so maybe
shower.
I just needed to.
So you were like,
relax.
maybe I just need to relax and I'll feel better in the morning. 3:00 in the morning. It was probably 2:30 in the morning.
Excruciating pain, and I was like, we gotta go. And Jeremy, who doesn't really know, like, he was like, oh, we're having the baby, like, yay, so excited, and should I grab a car seat? And I'm like, no, like, this is really bad. Like, if I'm having the baby, he is not coming home for a long time, and hopefully everything goes well and he even makes it. So being a NICU nurse, I knew it was bad, but I mean, maybe it was a good thing that you kind of didn't really understand what all could go wrong, kind of rainbows and butterflies to you. But yeah, it was a little scary for me.
So we never told about that. So just real quick, she works in what you don't know. So NICU.
Neonatal intensive care. So I work with the preemie babies or just sick babies in general. And then I also do postpartum nursing as well.
And you've done that since 2011.
Yeah. Since we got together.
See, our
careers like took off together.
Yeah. And really, guys, like, it wasn't her. I was like, I got me a sugar mama, like, I was like,
that's what he was like thinking in the beginning. But now I think like things kind of have changed.
I got me a sugar mama. Yeah. So, granted, so then we go to the hospital, and this is where, well,
I feel like it was like one of the worst nights of our life, but now, I mean, everything luckily turned out well, and I feel like it was now one of the best nights of our life.
I totally agree. And so with that being said, we're going to pause this just for a second right now, because I don't want to drag out the whole Weldtec Designs. For you guys that are watching this on Weldtec Designs and learning, as I'm trying to bring you more into my family, as you guys are part of my Weldtec Designs family. This whole episode is going to continue over on Jeremy's World 10, and that is my new podcast. And the reason being is that I really want to know, like, what is it that you guys at Weldtec Designs want to know more about? What do you guys want to learn about? Like, do you guys find the background, the history of Weldtec Designs, what drives Weldtec Designs? Or do you guys just want to know about vans? Because a lot of times when we post these videos, it's like, hey, I just want to know more about vans. And if it doesn't have to do with vans, like, I don't even want to watch it. Like, we put so much good content up about even other products. I'm going to throw out like demo shovels, like Smitty built coolers, like Isle paddleboards. Like, all of these are such good products that I would encourage you to watch these videos, because if you're living the overland, like, van lifestyle, like, these are products that I would definitely recommend you looking into doing. There's no benefit in it for me to talk about these things or tell you about them. I mean, yeah, they're cool. I can't wait to get out and use them. But at the same time, like, it is what it is. So encourage you to watch that. Please comment below. Let me know if you guys like these type of podcasts here on Weldtec Designs. Tell me what you want to know more about. And we're going to be doing a lot more stuff like that for Weldtec Designs. But if you want to see the rest of this interview and me talking to this crazy lady behind me, you're going to have to head over on Weldtec Designs and go to Jeremy's World 10, and you can see the rest of this podcast. So I thank you guys very much, and I will see you guys next time. All right, so is Austin going to have to stop these cameras so that they are going to record for the next 30 minutes? All right, guys, so we're back, and I want to thank you for coming over to Jeremy's World 10 as we finish this interview off. And I'm not even going to say finish it.
Hopefully people even came.
I know.
Like,
hopefully,
I hope they even
you know what? We're going to have 2 people watching this. I'm going to give like Melissa Stone. She's awesome. Like, dude, big thumbs up to you.
She
like,
always watches
yeah,
podcasts.
she watches them, and she's like, I love watching you and Kaden. Like, you guys are awesome. So, who knows? Maybe it just might be me and you. It might be Jeremy's World. You can come on, hang out with me, and we'll interview other crazy people on this. You know, and we love to hear what everybody else thinks of my craziness, because definitely when I started this, and we're going to jump forward. But so Caden, if you guys missed the first part of this, you're going to want to check that out over on Weldtec Designs. And actually the whole thing is going to be right here on Jeremy's World. So you won't even have to go back there. You can just stay here, watch the whole thing. That was just, hopefully you enjoyed this brief intermission, you know, grab some popcorn, get a drink, and here we go again. So September 24th, 2000, no, September, I'm going wrong way.
Where are we going?
March 24th, 2013, we are headed to the hospital, and they try to give you medicine to slow it down. So let's talk about this.
It was too late by the time I got there.
So,
Things were just moving. If you've had kids, like it was just moving way too quick. They couldn't even stop it. So we were having a baby.
So you were 29 weeks pregnant
so he was
at
3
that
months
point.
Early. Definitely not supposed to be coming at any
No,
time.
definitely was not. And I will say this one thing. I just absolutely love my wife when she is pregnant. I think that she is just gorgeous, and she's going to disagree because she's going to say she's just a fat cow. And those are her words, not mine. But I used to just love talking to Caden.
And that's why we always joke that that's why he came early.
Yeah, because he was like, dude, my dad is awesome. I want to party with my dad.
All you used to talk to him about was racing and trucks and signs. And I was like, it's all your fault he came out early. Because he was like, I'm missing out on this really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Dad went picking today without me. I had to go to this damn baby shower.
Hang out with a bunch of girls.
I'm coming out now. I'm done.
Dude, we're done. I'm done baking.
So
let's go party.
Kids, I wouldn't let him talk to my stomach.
No. Like I was super
like,
limited.
Because of you,
I was super limited. I'd be like,
Kendall, like, it's Dad. Mom's asleep right now, but I can't wait to meet you. Hi, Kendall. Like, I want you to hear my voice.
I feel like we could laugh about it now, but at the time...
Oh, it was the most scariest thing ever.
And to be like a first-time dad is scary enough, and then let alone your child's born 3 months early, and you don't potentially know if they're going to make it or not.
So the next thing was your doctor wasn't available. Mm-hmm. So then we had awesome Dr. Barmeyer, dude is the man. Like, I can't tell you, like, I know you'll probably never watch this, Dr. Barmeyer, but like, I just big hug, the biggest high five. Like,
it was
he's
like
just
the smoothest, best delivery ever.
Yes. So
and the NICU team is just awesome.
Yes.
The NICU team at Charlotte Mary Burst is just amazing. They really, I mean, I'm not just saying that because I work there. Like, they really got their stuff down and know what they're doing.
They totally do. And me not knowing,
very orchestrated.
Not knowing anything. I never ever felt like I was scared. I just was watching them, and it all happened so quick.
Yeah.
And I think the scariest thing for me was not knowing what's going on, and then seeing what you were going through. Like, obviously, was the other big scary thing, because just the whole. During, being pregnant, there's so many things that can go wrong.
Well, especially when it takes you so long to get pregnant, and now you're like, oh, I could lose this baby that I've had in my belly for 7 months.
And I remember you staying upstairs and the doctor being like, okay, you're going to go downstairs with the baby to the NICU. Yeah. And I remember him coming out, and me being me, even... in the worst of times, trying to make the best out of things. Like, I remember telling you, hey, babe, this baby's really dark. I'm not sure if it's mine. because he was born so early, the pigment on... I know, I'm going to have to pull up a picture. We'll definitely do that for when we do this. The color of his pigment was just so dark.
Well, it's because their skin is so thin, too. So you're seeing all the blood. So he did look like he had darker skin, and he had really dark hair.
Yeah. So I'm like, babe, are you sure this is my kid?
He didn't look like a little white baby at all.
And I think that was me just trying to
be silly,
make the best out of this bad circumstance. I
mean, that really does happen though.
Oh, I could see that.
White people have a baby together and it gets delivered and it's a little African American baby, and the dad's looking at the mom that has physically actually happened at my work. So,
and I could totally see that
It's
because
true.
when we show these pictures, you're going to be like, okay, I could totally see how you could think that. So he was born 2 pounds, 9 ounces. He was so small.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember him after probably about a little over a week, we were maybe able to hold him.
finally after a week, we got to hold him for the first time.
Which was
And I let
just
you hold
like,
him,
but I want to go back to like, I remember going downstairs and the doctor, it wasn't Barmeyer then, it was a different doctor.
The neonatologist.
And he
Dr.
comes up
Rasmussen.
and he tells me, okay, well, I think they're like, okay, so just so you know, he's got like a 80% chance of survival.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like losing my
Freaking
shit.
out.
Like, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, and I remember
Well,
just
it's like, and I knew that, but I feel like you had to hear it from them to really grasp
yeah, because that
the
was
reality of what's going on right now.
and that's where like you just realize like when you talk about that work-life balance,
Yeah.
I think like that's where when you're put in that situation, you just go, I don't even care about work. I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
And I just always hope that
Nothing
it doesn't
else matters. The material things do not matter. All you want is your healthy baby.
And I think that that's the biggest thing is that you hope that people don't have to have a circumstance like that makes you go, that wakes you up to be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't care about all this other stuff when I realize just how fragile life is itself.
How long it took us to get pregnant, and then that whole thing with Caden, it just makes you so grateful for when you do get a full-term healthy baby and you do get pregnant. And I feel like a lot of people don't get, I mean, I hope that they don't experience that, but because they don't, they may not be as grateful for what they have.
Yes, that is totally. So after 61 days in the NICU, Caden is finally able to come home. And I think even when he came home, he was only 7 pounds.
Maybe like 6. I don't remember.
Yeah,
He was still really little.
I think he doubled
So
his.
even for a 2-month-old baby, he was only like 6 pounds. So he was teeny tiny.
And so, yeah, I mean, and he's still teeny tiny. It's my little
I know,
buddy.
I feel bad. Like his little sister is like almost bigger than him. If
They're
not
like
bigger.
3 pounds difference, 4 pounds.
Yeah, and people think they're twins all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
they're
really
3 years apart.
It's really cute. I mean, but Kendall's a beast. I mean, she's a wrecking ball. She's awesome.
Well, that's what happens when you have a full-term 9-pound baby and a preemie
right
2-pound baby.
But I
It's
will
going to take him a while to catch up, and that's why
as far
he's
as
so small.
size goes. But you know, I think that's what he lacks in size. Like his personality is ginormous.
Yeah.
I think that anyone that's ever met him will definitely is like, oh my god, I love
Well,
this
the way
kid.
he thinks.
Oh,
Like,
that's
he doesn't
just a whole
think
nother.
like a normal 6-year-old. Like he's like literally analyzing everything. He will remember the license plate on your car as you drive away. Like it's crazy what he remembers.
Yeah, the stuff that.
But then he may not be able to run just as fast as the other 6-year-olds. But his mind is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that too, and I'm like, dude. I mean, I'll ask him something, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, Dad, that was at this date, and we went
Yeah.
and did this, and remember, Dad, we did this." And I'm like,
He remembers everybody's names.
"Yeah." You tell him like your name one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hi, so and so."
Well, and he's very like, how does something work? Like he's looking at the back of something, like looking at all the gadgets and gears, figuring out how it works and how he can take apart and make it better.
No, definitely. I think that is what is awesome. I mean, granted, I don't know where he gets it from, but I love having him here at the shop and just being exposed to all of these things because, you know, a lot of people may ask, like, why do you do this podcast? Why do you have him on it? You know, like, oh, can't understand him. It's funny the comments
I
that
don't
we
get
get
why people like
because people just, you know,
say stuff like that.
I don't
It's a little kid.
because
Like what little kid do you not understand all the time?
I don't know. Like,
And I don't get why you would take the time out of your day to criticize a child. Like you're a grown ass man.
But it's like, you know, and this is where I'm like, I love it. You know, like a lot of people say it, you know, and one person that, you know, Gary V, one day, dude, you're coming on this podcast. I'm going to figure out how to
That'd
get
be
you
like
on.
your dream.
Yeah, dude, me and Gary V chatting up here in the attic. Oh my God. We'll be like, dude, Gary. But one thing he says is like, you feel bad for him. And I do, because I don't, and if I have, you know, like, I completely apologize, but I'm not the type of person that's like, I would never go on somebody's YouTube and be like, God, this was the stupidest video. Like,
Even
there was no
if you
information.
feel that way.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay.
Click
next. Yeah.
Or unfollow.
Yeah.
Like, why would you take the time out of your day to comment and tell how much you hate it?
Because
like, I just don't understand.
I'm just searching for that attention. Like, you know, it's like a child, you know, they're happy and to get your attention. And then if they can't, then they cry, they scream, and they figure out
like,
how
didn't someone the other day complain that your hat wasn't on straight or something?
Yeah, and I just told him my head was on crooked.
I know, but why would you even point that out? Like, who cares?
I don't know.
Like, that to me is
I find the comedy in it. See, like, some people find the negativity in it, and I just...
No, it is comical, but I'm like, I can't believe you wasted your time to point out his hat.
Yeah, I don't...
There's way bigger things going on in the world other than Jeremy's hat being crooked.
Yeah, you know, that's, 2020, guys. Here we go.
See, and I'm not used to the hate. I've only gotten the hate when I was on your social media. But
I know, what's up?
I don't get the hate.
You guys,
online.
like, I can't keep asking her to come back.
And what's funny is it's not like women that hate, it's men.
I don't get that, because I'm like...
It was probably 90% men that are haters to me.
A girl with a nice body and boobs that's hot? I'm like, hello?
Yeah,
like,
there was maybe like
thumbs
one.
up.
Like, I thought for sure like the women would be haters. No.
It was a lot of guys.
It was, and I was surprised at how many men were so appalled by that.
Right. And I think we even got some comments that were like, I'd rather see you and your son than some random girl. And I was like, well, the random girl's actually my wife.
Not really
so
some random girl.
Without her, I don't have my son. So I kind of got to include her in what I'm doing. And I guess that's why you're here, because I got to include her in this podcast.
Well, I feel like nobody knows who I am.
Because you're on the DL, you know?
It's like, I mean, everybody thinks like Alyssa's the wife.
It's funny. And Austin's my child.
Yeah. They think Alyssa's the mom, and then Austin's our other child.
Yeah, no, they do. Because even Austin...
Like, I don't even get credit for my own kids.
No, we'll go to an event. We did, monster trucks, it happens.
Yeah.
Even at SEMA, how many times they were like, oh, is this your son?
Not to mention, I'm like, do I look like I have a... What are you, 21, 20? Do I look like I have a 20-year-old? Like, that's almost offensive to me.
I know. I'm not even old enough to have a 20-year-old, you know? Like, geez, where do people get this stuff? I'm only 28 years old, you know? So come on, you know.
I'm like, I wasn't like 14 years old popping out kids here. Come on, people.
Living my best life at 28, in 2020. So that is awesome. So now Caden, we have Caden now. So we have Kira and Caden. And then next we are going to, again, another difficult pregnancy. And then we're going to welcome Kendall into the world, which was full term. A giant beast at like 9 pounds.
9'3".
9'3". Jeez. So, and she is just,
the best thing ever.
She is. She is
the sweetest girl ever. You just see, you have to show a picture of her. You just see her and you just melt. Like, how can you say no to her? And her little like Minnie Mouse voice.
And I do. I have to say no. I'm like, Kendall, no, I'm sorry. Wait till your mom leaves and then I'll give it to you. Okay, just wait a second. Hold on. All right. Just wait. So, yes, and Kendall has been, thank God we didn't have the crazy scare that we did with Caden, and that, you know.
We had to do some things to make sure that didn't happen again. But yeah, then we were able to deliver full term.
And, if you guys want to know more about this, we're going to have to like get all your wives to be like, hey, we want to know more about Rachael, because.
Well, they could just message me personally.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, you need to do your own podcast. Like, she is, I will tell you, I am so very blessed to have such a great wife who also inspires me, but also is very motivated.
I run the show. Let's just be real.
I'm not denying it.
You work, and then I just run the rest of the show. If it wasn't for me, I don't know what you would do. Like, when I leave this weekend for Vegas, I don't know what you're going to do. I have to make sure there's like groceries, or you're going to be fast food every day. They got clean clothes.
Wait, that's not the one I wanted. I was totally it. That's what's going to happen when she goes to Vegas right there.
Stop.
So, all right, probably not. But you're going to Vegas because our oldest, Kira, is in a cheer competition, headed to Vegas. They made it to nationals, which is a huge thing. All of our kids are very active, whether it be in racing or in sports.
Yeah, so we're just a little busy.
Yeah, so if you wonder why your stuff isn't done on time, it's because I'm actually hanging out with my kids.
Yeah, he's not sitting on the couch, drinking beer, watching football. Thank God you don't like football and you're not a sports fan.
I don't watch any sports, guys, so I know nothing about sports. I mean,
if you sat on the couch all Sunday, I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind.
I mean,
if you made me sit on the couch and watch a whole football game, I would lose my mind. I'd be like,
you're ADD. You can't sit.
I would just be like, I couldn't do it.
Right.
I would never, like, people are like, oh, who do you think's going to, who's your fan favorite for the Super Bowl? And I'm like,
they just went to the Super, like the teams are going to the Super Bowl. I couldn't even tell you who's going to the Super Bowl.
See, I don't even know this.
I think it's the 49ers only because of Facebook. Am I right? See, he doesn't know either.
Even Austin. So I could not.
I think because of Facebook,
if my
it's
life
49ers,
depended on it, I could not tell you who is going to the Super Bowl now.
I'm excited for the Super Bowl only for the food.
Yeah, like we usually go to a friend's house. And
J-Lo's going to perform at halftime show.
Yeah, don't really care about J-Lo, but
49ers
and the Chiefs, So guys, comment below. Let me tell you who you think's going to win.
Nothing about them.
I know the 49ers are in San Francisco. I don't think Joe Montana is the quarterback anymore. And the Kansas City Chiefs, wait, is it Kansas City? I want to say that's where Andy Frisella might be from. And Andy Frisella is another one. He's the man, dude. If you don't know, the real, oh my gosh, MFCEO project is his podcast. And the dude is just, I can't tell you, like, man, if I could ever get on his podcast, I'm going to just shout it out. I'm like, dude, Andy, what's up? Me and you would have a fun time, good time talking. Or heck, you can come to the attic and hang out. Good excuse to come to San Diego. I know you love San Diego. Is that what you call
it, the attic?
Yeah, this is the attic here.
Sounds like a bar or something.
It kind of is. See, we're kind of going with like the man theme. We have the giant American flag. We have the Americana going up in here because I'm totally into that. But it's like a man cave. But man cave is so played out, and we're not, since we're having women in there, we're trying to, we can't discriminate against women or being gender specific as far as a man cave. So we're just calling it the attic, That's a whole nother topic of people are lost their goddamn minds.
Oh God, you're gonna get a lot.
You're gonna
get a lot of thumbs down now.
Oh, I'll get so much hate, but yes. God, but I swear that's half the reason why I wanted to start Jeremy's World was because when it comes to Weldtec designs, I'm so limited on what I can talk about. Yeah. And I will tell you this, you guys suck because I can't even. The other day, one of our customers had a Donald Trump air freshener in his car, and I just thought it was funny. Oh, so God. I took the Donald Trump air freshener in Austin. I'm like, we were filming a video on the RV, and I'm like, we're making RVs great again. I'm Donald Trump, and I think I want to make RVs great again. Just me being the goofball that I am. And we got so many unfollows.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was like,
did they think that you were making fun of Trump or that you were a Trump fan?
No, because we posted a little thing after it that said, I'm Donald Trump and I support this message. And we crossed out it and made RVs and we were totally being goofy about it. But that's the thing. It's
all those liberal van life people.
But what I think is funny though, is Andy Frisella talked about this, and I'm probably screwing up his last name. I hope I'm getting this right. But it's why is it that these days, why can we not disagree on our political view? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Opinion?
But we could still be great friends. He talked about, he's like, I don't necessarily agree with Barack Obama, but I'd love to have a beer with the dude and talk to him because I'm sure he's a cool ass dude. And I'm like, yeah, I could totally see that. His charismatic personality, I'll have a beer with you. I'm sure that you have a ton of information that I would love to absorb and just hear from.
That's just a whole nother.
That's a whole nother. Yeah, no, it is. But it's I would the political spectrum is so crazy right now where it's like, dude, I don't care. Like
it was just the air freshener. You were just being silly.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's not that big of a deal.
if it was a Bernie Sanders one, I would have been like, hey guys, check this out. RV lifts are going to be free. RV lifts are going to be free. Just vote for me. You know, like, yeah, I'm going to get hate for this. And, you know, this is just me and my sense of humor. Like, I don't care about it. It's just fun. I'm like, I'm just a goofball, you know, like if you would have known me in high school.
Everybody just takes themselves so serious.
And I've never been that person. Yep. And maybe that's like when you talk about like how people used to get annoyed with me or been like, oh my God, Jeremy's crazy, is because I was just having fun. I'm making people laugh. I was like, there's nothing, my intentions are never to hurt your feelings or, you know, I'm just being a goofball, having fun, enjoying life. I am so blessed at my life and all that is in it. The people that I'm surrounded by, I am so very thankful and I love it and I'm going to enjoy it. And my goal is to keep learning all I can. So we have 3 kids now. And now we're in circa like 2016 is when I'm going to get, this is the date I'm going to screw up. So we have Kylie in 16.
No.
15.
2016. We have Kendall.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, how old do you think the baby is?
I'm screwing up my names.
Drink your coffee.
So we have Kendall in 2016. Sorry.
15.
Yeah, I see. 15. See, this is why I got to have this right here. So we have Kendall, and then we decide we want to have another baby because I'm just a sucker and a glutton for punishment.
And you're praying it's a boy this time.
Praying it's a boy.
Please let it be a boy.
And I guess if you went over to Rachael's channel on YouTube, you could see our awesome gender reveal that we did on that channel. That was just amazing. We had such a good time. And I think one of the funniest parts about that is Caden's reaction.
I feel like everybody has to watch it just for the reaction.
You have to. I'm going to put a link down below in this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to her channel and watch this because Caden's reaction is just priceless. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like me being a goofball, I act like I'm falling to my knees and crying about it. And by no means am I really upset. I'm just me being silly. And
I know, I feel like she's going to watch it when she gets older.
She's going to know. Like, she's already crazy. Like, she is, and she knows. Like, I'm not worried about that at all. She's like, Dad, you're nuts. But the Johnsons, so I come from a family of 4. You also come from a family of 4, so we come from large families. My sister has triplet girls and an older daughter. So it was like, God, we need to balance this.
And then your brother had a girl.
And then my brother had a girl.
We already have 2 girls and a boy. So everyone's like, please let there be another boy.
We need a boy. We need some more testosterone around this because when we get together at family, it's just girl craziness. Yeah. So like, love being a girl dad. Like all of you guys that are girl dads, like it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, and I know so many people are like, oh, I'm having a girl. I'm like, dude, girls are the best thing ever. They really are. I mean,
girls can race cars and do all that stuff.
Yeah, like
BMX too.
Dude, everything. Killing it. So I love that. So we have the gender reveal. We find out we're having another girl. It's awesome. Totally excited. Caden loses his mind. But in the big scheme of things, really what's important is another full-term baby and just healthy as could be, another monster. And thank you again. You know, this is our 3rd child now at Sharp Mary Birch that we have, and everything goes amazing. And now we are almost to our current day where we're at right now, where Kylie is now like
she's a year old next month.
I was gonna say she's 11 months old today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So today, see, I can get some dates right, you know. See, this is why we're good together. She's like, I don't know, a year next month, and I'm like,
I mean, I'm planning the birthday party, so I know it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. We're gonna have to do a party. So now we have Kylie, who is 11 months old, and Rachel has completely shut down the baby factory because...
Well, you can't say that I've completely shut it down. I've said
Still
no,
a chance.
but
Still.
nothing is
Brian, I need that Maui house.
permanent.
Maui house. I make boys in Maui. And that was funny. Speaking of Maui, we actually changed the spelling of Caden's name because of where he was made.
Yeah.
It was going to be like Kaden,
so
we changed it to Kai
because Kai means ocean
in Hawaiian.
Yep.
So a little bit of tidbit of information, throwing that education down here at Jeremy's World 10. So now that brings us up to more like current about us. And I know that you have, what do you think about, so one of the big things in the last year that we've gotten into is racing. The kids are racing, all of them, well, not all of them, mostly. So Kira was racing, Caden was racing. I'm trying to convince.
We're working on Kendall.
We're working on Kendall. She drove the mini dwarf actually this weekend. And she didn't like the helmet because it made her head sweaty. So she like absolutely lost it.
But I also think she's young.
No.
She's 4.
Yeah, she just turned 4.
I mean, Caden didn't start racing until 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so for his 6th birthday, he got a go-kart.
Yeah, so we have to give her a little bit of credit.
And so, and at that same time, that's when we started Caden's YouTube channel called Growing Up Garage. I'll definitely throw up a card, but put a link down below. And we would look forward to you guys really heading over to that channel and subscribing to that and supporting the kids.
Oh, yeah, he'd be so excited. Every time he gets a subscriber, he's so excited.
Yeah, he seriously wants to go on there and be like, okay, Dad, look, I got 1 subscriber more. Or I don't know how many
subscribers like everything to him.
I don't know how many times he's gone on there and been like, Dad, I have 13 videos,
Yeah.
And then he'll go on my channel and be like, Dad, you have 42 videos. It's not fair. We need to make more videos for my channel. You need to tell Austin that we need to make more videos for my channel. And I'm like, okay, bud, you just got to come down and we'll get crazy.
But he's busy. He's got a busy little life.
He does
with
between
school and his racing now.
Yeah, so it's definitely been harder. We did an awesome series, the Kids of Barona Speedway, where he was the person interviewing all the kids, and that was a complete blast and a lot of fun to see. So I know a lot of parents out there, like the dad wants to get them involved in things, and the moms are like, no, it's not what I want. What was your original, like, how did you feel about it?
And, I mean, it's definitely scary. You're putting your little child in a car. I mean, essentially, it's a car. Like, they go from a car seat to now this motor-powered engine. Like,
yeah, that goes like 35 miles an hour
all I could
or
just
more.
imagine was him crashing and really
which he has done plenty of times. And that's what's funny is like we expect so much, some of the parents, they go, they expect so much, and you're like, realize that this kid just came here in a car seat, and now we're putting him in a car and giving him
to drive
full
and not
control,
crash into other people, and to drive 20 miles an hour to 30 miles an hour and be okay. It's a little
and he
scary.
loves it. It's all he wants to do.
Yes. I don't mind it now. So now when we try and put Kendall in a car, I do get a little bit nervous because I just worry if she'll be able to hit like the brake and everything. But because when we put her in the go-kart and she was just full throttle down the street and all I saw was her going for the car, and I was like, she's going to like decapitate herself.
And then she stopped right in front of the car. She hits the brakes in front of the car and is like
something out of a movie.
Yeah.
Like right there.
We're like, okay, well, at least she knows the gas and the brake.
Yeah, I don't know. Luckily.
But, yeah, definitely very lucky.
I would way rather my kids race in a cage than go do dirt bikes.
And that was one thing that originally, so Caden does, and this is where I'm going to say, like, God, my kids are lucky, and I'm very thankful at the life that God has given me, because I know growing up as a child, definitely did not have the luxuries that my children have.
And it's not a cheap sport, but I mean, it's not super expensive. I mean, you could say competitive cheer is probably just as expensive, if not more, but it's definitely not a cheap sport, and it takes a lot of time and commitment.
So I remember when we were at the desert and Caden crashed his quad into our friend's RV, and I know that freaked you out.
Yeah.
And we were, at the same time,
he hasn't gotten on a quad, I don't think, since.
No, I mean, I think, his, he wants to. I know we just fixed his quad, so that he could ride that again. So that'll be really cool.
I won't be as like nervous though, because now that he races, he totally understands
it a lot more. But I know that was one thing. It was like, so many parents want to get their kids into motocross or things of that nature. And we found that, that we liked the go-karting and mini dwarfs a lot better. Just because they are in a cage, they are seat belted in. I mean, these kids
not
run
that
into.
There's anything wrong with it. I just personally.
Right. No, it's all. No, you're not allowed to have your personal opinion. No personal opinion.
We're going to get all these haters that were bashing motocross.
It's okay. There's only like 6 people going to be watching Jeremy's World anyways, especially for an hour long.
I know.
I mean, people are going to be like an hour long.
I have to go get kids from school soon.
I know. Seriously. You see how this works out? I just barely got her in here in order to come and do this. And so bringing us up into now the current thing, now that we have an introduction to you and to us and our relationship, I want to, what do you feel when it comes to the work-life balance?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, that's the key to it. And I mean, this could be almost its whole other episode in itself.
This probably actually would have been good for Weldtec, because for any other wife that's going in with her husband starting his own business, it totally sucks. I mean,
Why?
it has its good and its bad. Like, yes, the money's good and I'm able to have a beautiful home and we're able to remodel it and the kids do their sports. But at the same time, the majority of the time, it's me by myself. And not saying that you're like a bad dad and you're not involved, but it's me from sunrise until bedtime majority of the time. And that's like probably our biggest fight.
And that's what, like you say, like people always say, the great thing about being an entrepreneur is you get to work half days. But here's the thing, what the connotation you think in that is, well, sweet, I only want to work a half a day. Yeah. No, your half a day is you can either work the first 12 hours of the day or the second 12 hours of a day. Yeah. Because there is not many days that I work. So I'm going to say almost every day is at least a 10-hour day. And if not a 12-hour day.
I would say closer to 12.
I mean, today, I know I came in today at 5 a.m.
Yeah. And I feel like the only reason you've been coming home earlier is because of the time change, so you feel like it's later.
I do. This time change here in California.
So during the summer, he wants to work till like 8:30, 9
Yeah, because it's like 5 o'clock and it's dark.
It's still light out. I got to stay at work during the summer.
It's true. Like, I'm like, it's still light out. I got plenty of things to do.
And that's what's crazy. It's like 8:30.
That's what's crazy about how your brain works. Just having that daylight go a little bit longer, the serotonin that it releases.
When it gets dark earlier, you're tired earlier.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm at like 6 o'clock and I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to go home and go relax on the couch and go hang out with the kids and go build Legos. And
I mean, I wish you would do that.
I try to make it home for at least for dinner. That's
that's too, like on the weekend. Sometimes it sucks. We'll have plans and you'll be like, oh, a customer is going to come and get a vehicle.
So you hear that? All you customers that are like, oh, I got to have.
It turns into like a 3-4 hour ordeal because now they want to change something or add something. And I don't think they realize that they're taking away from family time. And we had plans to go do something.
Yeah. And I think
it's bringing in the money, so I can't complain too much, but.
And I think that the other thing is that what's difficult for me in the balance of it is because I've seen the highs and lows in business. And I'm so like, we're going to 2020 and I go, God, like when is the next recession coming? Yeah. What's the pullback in it? Because let's be honest, like building vans and putting lift kits on vans is completely discretionary income. Yeah. So
it could be like a fad that's going to die out next year. Like you never know.
Right. So it's like you're trying to capitalize on it and, create new products as well as get your current products out. And that's the whole thing is like, I'm always like, okay, what can I build next? What can I do new? Is, this year I look forward, we're going to put out a Nissan Envy lift kit, a Ford Transit lift kit. So these are all things that I'm working on behind the scenes that a lot of you guys don't even know about.
Talk to me about today.
No, so that's she thinks that's a whole nother thing. So I know she really wants a Ford Transit. And I'm like on the fence. I'm like, nah, not really. But
that was like today driving to school. Caden saw an Escalade and he was like, Mom, there's your car. And then he's like, I don't get why you don't like the Transit. The Transit's way better looking than the Escalade, Mom. And I'm like, who are you?
Dude, I
like,
love it.
Is
That's
this
my
even
boy.
a question?
That's my boy right
like,
there.
Get out of here. You're
because
crazy.
He's looking at it from a business perspective. Like, Mom, if we had a Transit, we could make more parts.
He's totally brainwashed by you. Because then he started talking about how, well, I don't like the front lights of the Escalade and then the back lights are too big. I'm like, that's exactly what your dad said.
It's true, though.
I like it.
The back taillights on an Escalade, who designed those? Like, it's a Christmas tree.
I think it's a beautiful. I
not.
think it's so pretty.
There's nothing about the rear of an Escalade that looks good other than it has a Cadillac symbol. Like, the grill looks good.
So nice looking.
So here's what I said I was going to do. I was going to take and make a Chevy van with the Escalade front on it. And just because
it has the symbol doesn't mean I would like it.
Are you kidding me? A Louis Vuitton? Like, oh, do you see this? Look, right there.
No, because I don't like all the Louis Vuitton
I don't
bags.
like
There's
all
only a certain one.
Yeah, you don't like all the Cadillacs either, but you like the Escalade. So if you got a Louis Vuitton bag, it would be like, well, this has the Louis Vuitton symbol, so I freaking like it.
No, you're not getting it.
I don't get it. I do get it.
Just because it's a higher end car doesn't mean I want it just because it has a Cadillac symbol.
No, you just like how they look. You've never even driven one.
No, I just think it's a beautiful car and I want it.
That's why
if I have to drive a mom car, that's going to be my mom car.
All right. So I want the new Camaro ZL1 unless the Corvette comes out with something cool, and I'll probably never get one of these. But I want to throw this out there because now that just brought up these old. So in 2010, when the new Camaro came out, I was like, oh my God. I saw it in Transformers and that came out. And I was like, oh, I love this car. I love it. I love it. And then for my birthday in 2010, when they first came out, my lovely girlfriend at the time rented me one. And we got to go drive it.
What happens when you like first get together?
I know,
you like
dude.
Pull out all the stops.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, you rented. She's like, oh, yeah, just wait till we're married. I'll buy you one.
That was the problem. Like, when we first got together, I like did everything in the beginning. And so now I got nothing left. I like did all the good stuff right away. I should have like spaced it out more. I just like piled it on. Christmas,
now she just says, she's like, why do I have to give you anything else? I already gave you 3 beautiful children. I gave you 3 beautiful children. You know, like there's no.
This year was the only year we didn't do presents because other than that, I always do something.
Right,
and that was just because we got a motorhome.
We did because we're at the racetrack all the time, so a motorhome was a must because we pretty much lived there. We just went to the race this weekend.
That was really nice this weekend while you guys were practicing for 3 hours. Just being able to sit in the motorhome and let the baby crawl around.
Yes, so I definitely, I gotta keep the wife happy, happy wife, happy life.
So then that's why I have to let you work till 8:00 at night because of the motorhome.
Oh yeah, see, because now I gotta pay for this damn thing. God, So I don't.
The lift kit?
I still don't have the Camaro. Maybe one day I will get it. Caden is all about.
You know where the Camaro is sitting?
I know. Here we go. Let's hear it.
It's sitting probably 2 doors down. There's like this black truck that's just been sitting there, not rotting away, not doing anything that could be sold. Someone could have fun with it in the desert. That could be your Camaro right there.
All right, guys. So I posted pictures of it in the last podcast. It's a 2001 Toyota Tundra, completely built. It's a ton of fun.
Your truck is your Camaro.
Yes, it could be yours. You could make my dreams come true by making your dreams come true. And you can have it for the low price of like $45,000. I mean, I'm sure if you talk to her, you could probably even get like $5,000 off. Yeah, I mean, like it's got to go.
It's priced to sell. Just message me. We'll work it out. We'll make it happen.
Hey, you know what? If I would, the problem now is fitting 3 car seats and you into the Camaro.
Well, that's why I told you too. You got to sell that thing if you want a new desert toy.
Yeah, see, I'm just screwed. I got to sell everything.
Price to sell it. Let's go.
Yeah. So that is awesome. So besides me working long hours, I mean, I guess that's been one of the hard things. And I know that for one thing that you hate is then what makes it also very difficult on, sometimes on our relationship is the fact that now you work nights.
Yeah.
And it's worked out good because it's less that we have to pay in daycare. And you've been a nurse at night now for the entire part of it, which works out, really good because then I'm able to.
Yeah, you're running in the door and I'm running out the door.
Yeah, so that has definitely been, maybe that's what keeps us going,
I don't know.
Like,
we don't see each other for the full 7
Yeah.
days. We get like a little break.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, all right. And then when I see you again, I'm like, oh, I remember you, like, but no, I mean, I think there's so much more, to our relationship. And as we go, we're running on an hour and 10 minutes. So
gosh.
I would love to hear like too long, too short. I mean, I know that there's been a ton of stuff in there and there's been a ton of stuff that I'm sure we could continue to go on and on and on about, because I would, not do it in this one, but, I would really like to talk to you more about your life, what you have going on, because on the entrepreneur side of your life, you are also very involved in a lot of other adventures. And I would love for our listeners, all three of you, to,
And that's why the baby making machine is done.
So,
I'm ready to start doing my own thing now. You got Weldtec, Jeremy's World, Growing Up Garage. It's Rachel's turn now.
So, and I can't knock it. I mean, I love that. I love the enthusiasm and the drive that she has. And that's what, makes us a great couple. I mean, I think that is something that I definitely envy, and think that is
we're both encouraging and motivate each other to do better.
Except she told me this podcast was just a silly idea. I'm like, babe, I'm going to start a podcast.
No, wasn't there something else recently that you want? Oh yeah, it was like a website or something. You wanted to like start this new website.
Yeah, we're not even gonna go into that.
Another.
If you are a web developer,
adventure.
I have like an amazing idea.
I just feel like he doesn't need any more projects.
Hit me up if you are like super rad web guy. Let me know. We got a side project.
On what we got going on here. Until next time.
The focus. I definitely try to stay focused.
But then he sees a squirrel and he's like, squirrel, and like runs the other way.
She's crazy. I have no idea what she is talking about. This is just, I don't even know.
Do
you see what I have to deal with like on a regular basis? I'm surprised I get anything done.
Because your mind is just like going.
It is like
there's so much in there.
Yes, there's just so much going on, and
that's why you don't sleep.
Yeah,
That's our second fight.
Yeah, she's like, "Why don't you sleep?" And I'm like, "I can't. Like, I'm gonna sleep when I die. Like, there's so much I want to do and create and learn. Like, I spend.
I feel like we could just like talk forever.
I know, but
we have to like.
That's what's great about this. All right, so that's where she's like, "I'm done with this." All right, guys. So I would love to hear if you like having this crazy lady known as
maybe
Rachael.
You could tell them like. Ask us some questions and we could talk about it next time.
You know what?
Like,
how about this?
What do they want to know?
So then here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one even better. Let's see if we can get enough people watching this and we'll go live. We could do a live podcast.
Oh, and then they can ask questions.
And then they can ask us questions in the live podcast. We could talk about whatever it is you want to know. You could also
business
let your fan base
relationships.
Let them know like, hey, guys, I'm going to be going on this podcast. Here's what we're going to be doing. And I would love to answer your questions. And I'm sure she would too. I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, in both in her business and in mine, our goal is to give you information, whether it be, I would say anybody from a new mom to a new dad. I would love to share with you that. I mean, there's a ton of stuff there. And that's the whole premise around Growing Up Garage is I just want to teach more kids. I want to teach you kids about tools. I didn't get these things, and with the technology these days, the possibilities of learning is endless. So, all right, so we're gonna put a wrap on this, and because there's what really has to happen. Let's be real: is you need to make a video for.
Well, I gotta make my own video for something, and then I gotta go pick up kids.
All right, so that's
we gotta
it.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it. So. I definitely had a fun time. So overall, let's hear this though. You were definitely scared to come on here and do this. What is your overall?
I thought you were going to ask me way more like scary questions.
What's a scary question?
I thought you were going to ask me about the whole like van situation, how I don't want a van.
I don't care about that. No one cares.
I know, but you always make fun of me that that's what you do for a living, and I want no part of it.
That's true. You heard it from her mouth, not mine. Like,
I was like, oh God, his customers are going to hate me.
No, I mean, oh well.
Because I am not van life at all. I am not about it.
They just don't. I'm like, I can hear people unclicking the follow button right now.
They're like, his wife.
Dude, what a biatch.
What a biatch.
Yeah,
what a
seriously.
high maintenance.
Oh,
she wants her Cadillac with her Louis Vuitton. Like, I can just see it now.
Dude, trust me, I got to deal with this on a regular basis, guys. Hello. And what's funny
got
is
her hair all done and her makeup. Oh God.
And people look at me and they're like, dude, this guy's homeless. You know, like people.
You come into the kids like citizen assemblies, and all you're black with this hoodie on, or he comes to a game and they're like, who is this person gonna shoot up the game? Like,
yeah, this guy's gonna steal a kid.
Yeah, he's stealing kids.
You know, and especially when I had the last van, the 98, the Weldtec van, the last Ford van had no windows in it. And I would roll up to Kira's school and I slide open the door and she jumps out. But you know that the kids were like, wait a second, dude, is this guy going to grab me or what's going on here? There's no windows in this van. And
it was a little scary.
Yeah, it was. And Kira used to laugh and get embarrassed and she still does. Because I tell her that I'm going to do that one of these days. I want to pick her up from school. That's a whole nother story.
Your new van is cool.
Yeah. My new van's cool. She likes it. So I'm glad you had fun on here.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
I love it. Wait, where's the...
You need to learn your buttons.
So that is it, guys. That's our laughter on there. So definitely thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I will put the links to your channel and how people can find you. But
no haters.
No, dude, you're going to get them. There's no way around it. Like, this is 2020 and the world is full of them, you know? We got to figure out how we can make some, like, fun TikTok videos out of this, you know? Dude, TikTok's killing it. Like, if you guys don't know.
I'm too old for TikTok. I don't even understand what it is.
I know, but us older.
We need them youngins to show us what to do.
Boomers or Gen X's, you know? Like, that's the whole thing now. Okay, boomer people. Anyways... yeah, it's good. People have lost their minds. So that's it. I'm putting a wrap on this. Welcome to Jeremy's World 10. My very first guest here in the attic.
Second guest.
No, you are my first guest in the attic.
What about Caden?
So Caden was in Weldtec Designs. So you are the very first guest on. So we did a
on your other
intro
podcast.
To Jeremy's World, talking a little bit about it.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna get even more defined in that because I was watching that video, going, I really need to make sure I explain better what my goal is in that. And we touched base on it a little bit here. More about that whole work-life balance and entrepreneurship, which I love here in the great US of A. But thank you guys so much for taking all this time out of your day to listen to
I didn't bore you like
my
much.
crazy. Who, me or the
them.
audience? Oh,
you, them. I hope they didn't hate it too much.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They'll be like, God, you know, like, oh my God.
Unfollow.
Yeah. It's okay. They can't unfollow us. We don't have any followers yet. There's no followers on this channel yet.
So I got nothing to live
Yeah, you have nothing. Like,
okay, good.
When we put this out, there's going to be like 5 videos up at the same time.
Because if you put it out and then like 100 people unsubscribed, like I would.
There's
feel
nothing.
really
I got
bad.
nothing right now.
Okay, good.
So, like, hopefully the people go from Weldtec over to Jeremy's World and watch this. But I have no followers, so
Okay,
I'm
good.
nobody. You know, like. Dude, unfollow.
No pressure.
There's no pressure. Like, that's the great thing about the attic at this point.
Well, you
like,
should have told me that from the beginning then.
Oh, no.
Maybe I would have felt better.
Well, now you know. Next time you come in, there's like, that's why I kept kidding that 3 people are watching it, and there ain't nobody following this thing yet.
Okay.
So, you know, that's always fun. So, you can see that we're just a goofy couple having
And
fun.
we've just been trying to end this for the last 10 minutes.
I know. God damn it. This is why.
There he goes. Keep on going. You just can't. I'm just keep on reeling him in. I just got to stop.
This is why I come here and I talk to customers forever, because
Yeah.
they're like, and you're just like,
Something
like when
that
we
should
used to
take
go
like 5 minutes.
when we used
I'm
to
like,
go talk
"Oh,
to people
God."
about gas pumps, and
Yeah.
that's a whole nother. All right, so that's
All
it,
right.
guys. I'm done.
That's a wrap. We're
I'm
turning
shutting
it
it
off.
down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Rachel, Christine, Jeremy Johnson, Weldtec Designs. Thank you, everybody. Comment below. That's it. I'm done.
See you later.
I gotta finish and think of another way to. I can't do like see you guys next time. So I love you. Thanks for watching.